I never imagined a single address could save two lives and destroy every lie I'd ever been told to swallow. It was 2:17 a.m. when my phone lit up with a Chicago PD number. The officer's voice was flat, professional, almost bored. "Ms. Harper? We have your nephew Leo and niece Ivy here at the 18th District. They're safe. We need you to come in." I was already pulling on boots over pajama pants, heart hammering so hard I tasted metal. Safe. That word kept me moving through the snow that was piling against my Lakeview brownstone like wet cement. But when I got to the station, they didn't take me to the kids. They took me to an interview room that smelled of bleach and old coffee. Detective Ruiz slid a clear evidence bag across the table. Inside was a soggy, handwritten note in my sister Camille's looping cursive. "Aunt Quinn will be waiting at 3500 South Halsted. Tell the driver she's the one in the red coat." Ruiz leaned forward. "Mind telling me why a Gold Coast socialite put her 7- and 9-year-old in an Uber to an abandoned meatpacking plant at 2 in the morning, Quinn Harper?" I stared at the bag. My mouth went dry. "That's not my address. I live at 3500 North Halsted." North. One letter. Two different planets. North Halsted is brownstones and dog walkers and $18 cocktails. South Halsted at that number is broken windows, razor wire, and the kind of dark where people disappear. I found my voice. I told her no. Yesterday. I have the texts. Ruiz raised an eyebrow. "People backdate texts all the time, Miss Harper. Let's see them." 12 hours earlier I'd been chained to my desk at the architecture firm, trying to finish the Lakeshore Community Center proposal that could finally make me partner. My phone had buzzed with Camille's name and a selfie of her holding a champagne flute on some private jet. "Emergency, Quinny. Grant surprised me with Tulum. Can you take Leo and Ivy tonight? Plane leaves in 3 hours." I typed back instantly. "Can't. Deadline Monday. Do not bring them here. I will not be home." I even added the red coat emoji, so there'd be no confusion about who was supposed to meet them. Read receipt, 4:03 p.m. She'd seen it. She'd read every word. Then she put her kids in summer jackets and sent them to die as payback. Ruiz watched me scroll, watched my hands shake. "You want to see them now?" He led me to the observation window. Leo sat hunched under a scratchy gray blanket, lips blue, rocking slightly. Ivy was curled in a plastic chair, clutching the stuffed narwhal I'd given her last birthday, eyes wide and fixed on nothing. My legs almost gave out. Behind me, Ruiz said quietly, "An off-duty paramedic found them banging on a warehouse door. Temperature was 4 degrees. Wind chill -20. 10 more minutes." He didn't finish. He didn't have to. I turned to him, something cold and final settling in my chest. "I'm not covering for her. Not this time." The next 4 hours were statements and signatures and coffee that tasted like ash. At dawn, my parents arrived straight from O'Hare, still in their St. Barth's tans. Dragging Vuitton luggage like this was a minor inconvenience. My father, Edward Harper of Harper Holdings, didn't even glance toward the room where his grandchildren were warming up. He marched straight to me, voice low and lethal. "We're handling this, Quinn. You'll tell them it was a simple mix-up. North, south, easy mistake." My mother's manicured hand closed around my wrist. "Think of the foundation gala next month. Think of the headlines." Dad already had his checkbook out. 100,000. "Call it a thank you for your discretion." I looked at the check, then at the observation window where Ivy had finally fallen asleep against Leo's shoulder. I tore the check into confetti. It fluttered to the linoleum like snow. "I'm done," I told them. "Done protecting all of you from the consequences of being monsters." Dad's face went purple. Mom actually gasped as if I'd slapped her. Behind them, Grant, Camille's husband, stumbled through the doors, looking like he'd aged 10 years overnight. He went straight to the kids, dropping to his knees, gathering them so tightly I saw Leo finally start to cry. I walked away while my parents were still sputtering. 2 days later, Camille posted the tear-streaked selfie heard round the internet. "When the person you trusted most with your babies betrays you, praying for healing." The comments were a bloodbath. My phone exploded. Extended family, college friends, strangers. Everyone's suddenly an expert on what a terrible sister slash aunt slash human I was. Then my managing partner called me in. I walked into his office ready to be fired. Instead, Tom Chin spun his monitor around. On screen was an email from my father threatening to pull 7 figures in future work if I wasn't dealt with. Tom's smile was thin. Your dad's been trying to poach my biggest client for years and failing. I'm not scared of him. He closed the laptop. Take whatever time you need. The Lakeshore project is yours. And Quinn? Bury them. I did. We played the long game. Let Camille think she'd won the emergency hearing with her cream suits and crocodile tears. Let her swear under oath that I'd promised to watch the kids, that I'd given the wrong address out of work stress. 30 days later, in the custody trial, we played the texts, the read receipts, the ring footage of her drunk and swaying as she shoved Leo and Ivy into the snow in flip-flops, wineglass in hand. We played the secret recording of my parents offering me money in the police station lobby to lie. The judge's gavel felt like the closing of a coffin lid on my old life. Camille lost everything. Custody, reputation, freedom, perjury, and child endangerment will do that. My parents lost visitation, board seats, and whatever was left of their souls. 3 years later, I stood on the rooftop of the Lakeshore Community Center the night it opened. My building. My gardens. My name finally on the partner list. Leo, now 12, sketched perspective studies beside me while Ivy, 9 going on 90, chased fireflies with the other kids. Grant lifted a glass of sparkling cider. To chosen family. We clinked plastic cups under a Chicago sky turning lavender with dusk. My phone buzzed. An unknown number. A text with no words, just a photo. Camille in orange, holding a new baby that wasn't hers to keep. I deleted it, slipped the phone away, and wrapped an arm around Leo's shoulders. Some doors you lock forever. Some families you build from the ground up, brick by brick, with people who choose you back. The city sparkled below us, alive and loud and ours. We were safe. We were homed. And no one would ever send us south again.